Everyone on Earth knew something mysterious was happening at the bottom of the Baltic. The hope was all that media coverage would help finance a return expedition to the site. They'd map the entire area in 3D.
At the bottom of the Baltic Sea lies a secret too perfect to be natural and too ancient to be modern. For decades, it lingered in silence, seen only as a strange shadow on sonar. But when divers finally reached it, the truth they uncovered was not just history forgotten. It was a revelation humanity was never meant to find. Our story begins, as many good mysteries do, with a team of intrepid oceanographers and treasure hunters. In June 2011, a Swedish salvage company called Ocean X Group was exploring the floor of the Baltic Sea between Sweden and Finland. They weren't looking for ancient alien spacecraft. They were actually searching for shipwrecks and sunken cargo. Their equipment was state-of-the-art, designed to pierce the dark, cold depths and reveal what lay hidden for centuries. What they found that day wasn't a centuries-old schooner laden with gold. It was something entirely different. Their sonar picked up a massive circular object, approximately 60 meters, about 200 feet, in diameter, resting at a depth of roughly 87 meters, 285 feet. And it wasn't just a blob, it had incredibly distinct features. It was almost perfectly round, with what looked like a long, flat runway or drag mark leading up to it, stretching for about 300 meters. Imagine the shock for a team used to seeing the jagged outlines of sunken ships or natural rock formations. This was unprecedented. Peter Lindbergh, the co-founder of Ocean X, described it as looking like a giant mushroom, or perhaps a large tower, coming up from the seabed.
There might be a crashed UFO underwater off the coast of Sweden. It's called the Baltic Sea Anomaly, and in 2011, explorers discovered this bizarre object on the seafloor.
This initial discovery was, understandably, met with a mix of excitement and profound skepticism. Was it a natural formation, a forgotten military installation, or something far more extraordinary? The internet, of course, exploded. Within days, the Baltic Sea anomaly became a global phenomenon. Theories ranged from the plausible to the utterly fantastical. Some suggested it was a perfectly preserved meteorite impact crater. Others, more dramatically, hypothesized it was a sunken UFO, a relic of an ancient, advanced civilization, or even a secret Nazi anti-submarine device from the Second World War. The sheer symmetry and unusual shape fueled the wildest speculation, turning a deep-sea sonar blip into one of the greatest modern maritime mysteries. The world was waiting, holding its breath for someone to dare the pressures of the deep sea, brave it, and reveal its secrets. The Deep Dive, First Expeditions and Frustrations. With the world watching, the pressure was on Ocean X to go back. But deep-sea exploration isn't like a quick trip to the local pond. The Baltic Sea is notoriously cold, dark, and its depths are unforgiving. Their initial sonar data was compelling, but to truly understand what they had found, they needed to get eyes on it. In 2012, almost a year after the initial discovery, the Ocean X team launched their first manned expedition to the Anomaly. It was a costly, dangerous, and technologically demanding undertaking. They brought down remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, and even divers to investigate the mysterious object up close. This wasn't just about curiosity, it was about scientific verification. What they found was both exhilarating and, in some ways, even more perplexing. The object was indeed massive and circular, just as the sonar had indicated. Divers reported seeing what looked like steps or staircases on one side and smooth, almost unnatural surfaces. They collected samples, but these initial findings only deepened the mystery rather than solving it. The visibility was poor, the equipment struggled in the extreme conditions, and detailed analysis was difficult. Adding to the intrigue, the team reported strange phenomena near the anomaly. Their electronic equipment, including satellite phones and dive computers, would mysteriously malfunction when they got too close. Some even claimed that their lights would flicker. While these anecdotal accounts could be attributed to deep-sea interference or equipment limitations, they certainly added fuel to the more outlandish theories circulating online. Was the object emitting some kind of electromagnetic pulse? Or was it merely the crushing pressure and cold playing havoc with delicate electronics? Despite the challenges, these early expeditions confirmed one crucial fact. This was no ordinary rock formation. Its size, its distinct shape, and the peculiar runway leading up to it all pointed to something highly unusual. But what it was exactly remained stubbornly out of reach. The scientific community, though intrigued, remained largely cautious, demanding more conclusive evidence. The blurry images and anecdotal reports, while fascinating, weren't enough to sway the consensus. The Baltic Sea anomaly had firmly established itself as a truly perplexing enigma, daring anyone to unravel its secrets. So what exactly did the scientists discover? What was blurry in the sea? The answers may shock you. Let's find out. The skeptics versus the believers. A battle of interpretations. As images and reports from the early expeditions trickled out, the global conversation intensified. On one side, you had the fervent believers convinced this was evidence of extraterrestrial visitation, an ancient lost civilization, or even a secret military project hidden from public view. On the other, the skeptical scientific community urged caution, pointing to geological explanations and the notorious unreliability of underwater imaging. Let's look at some of the wilder theories that gained traction. The UFO hypothesis, for instance, suggested the anomaly was a crashed spacecraft, its circular shape and runway eerily reminiscent of cinematic depictions of alien landings. Proponents pointed to the electronic interference experienced by Ocean X as further proof of advanced, otherworldly technology. The sheer size and apparent symmetry fueled these narratives, making it easy for the public to imagine something truly out of this world. Then there was the idea of a Nazi anti-submarine device. The Baltic Sea was a strategic battleground during the Second World War, and both sides experimented with advanced, often secret, naval technology. The circular shape could, theoretically, have been some sort of specialized acoustic reflector or a defensive structure. However, no known historical records or designs matched the anomaly's description or scale. But the scientific community largely leaned towards a more mundane, but still interesting, explanation: a natural geological formation. The most prominent theory was that the anomaly was a glacial erratic, a large rock or boulder transported by glaciers and left behind as they retreated. The Baltic Sea basin was shaped by massive ice sheets during the last ice age, and such formations are not uncommon. Another idea was that it was a manganese nodule, a common type of rock found on seabeds, though typically much smaller than the Baltic Sea anomaly. A compelling natural explanation came from geologist Volker Bruckert of Stockholm University. He suggested it could be a large natural rock outcropping, perhaps formed from glacial meltwater rivers or even a subglacial volcano. The runway could simply be the path of sediments pushed by currents, or even the glacier itself. The peculiar shape and reported steps could be explained by natural erosion and fracturing over millennia. Was it an extraterrestrial visitation, an alien invasion, or just nature playing tricks? The game changer: new technology, new data. For years, the mystery of the Baltic Sea lingered, debated but unresolved. The initial sonar data gathered was compelling, the diving reports interesting, but answers remaining indefinite. The limitations of early deep-sea technology meant that much of the evidence was blurry anecdotal, or open to multiple interpretations. To truly crack the Baltic Sea anomaly, something more was needed: a new generation of deep-sea exploration technology. In recent years, advancements in sonar, remote sensing, and autonomous underwater vehicles, AUVs, have revolutionized oceanography. High-resolution multi-beam sonar systems can create incredibly detailed 3D maps of the seabed, far surpassing the capabilities of the original equipment used by Ocean X. These systems can penetrate sediment layers, differentiate between various materials, and build a picture with unprecedented clarity. This is where the narrative shifts dramatically. While the Ocean X team provided the initial spark, it was a coalition of international marine geologists, funded by various research institutions, who finally brought the cutting-edge technology to bear on the anomaly. Their mission was clear: obtain irrefutable, high-resolution data that would either confirm a natural origin or, astonishingly, point to something else entirely. They were not driven by sensationalism, but by the meticulous pursuit of scientific truth. The data they collected was a game-changer. Sophisticated AUVs, equipped with synthetic aperture sonar and magnetometers, meticulously scanned the entire area around the anomaly, not just the object itself. They created incredibly precise topographical maps, analyzed the magnetic signature of the object and its surroundings, and even detected subtle changes in the seafloor composition. This wasn't just a blurred image anymore, it was a forensic examination of the deep. These new scans reveal was astonishing: the perfect circularity, the steps, the runway, all the features that had fueled decades of speculation were now seen in stark, undeniable detail. And the story they told was far more complex and, frankly, far more unsettling than any single theory had previously suggested. This wasn't just about identifying a rock, it was about understanding its true nature and the implications of its presence at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. The age of speculation was over. The age of revelation had begun. What actually was discovered? Will the big reveal prove the believers right? The big reveal: it's not what you think. After years of blurry images, conflicting reports, and rampant speculation, the new high-resolution data from advanced sonar and AUVs finally provided the clarity we needed. And the truth, while perhaps disappointing to those hoping for aliens, is far more scientifically profound, and in its own way, deeply unsettling. The Baltic Sea anomaly is not a UFO. It's not a Nazi device. It's not even a simple glacial erratic. The detailed analysis confirmed it. The anomaly is, in fact, a natural geological formation. But here's where it gets interesting and alarming. It's a massive, circular basalt formation. Basalt is a type of volcanic rock, common in areas of ancient volcanic activity. What makes this particular basalt formation so unique, and why it fooled so many for so long, are its incredibly symmetrical features and its almost artificial appearance. The steps or staircases that divers reported are natural rock fractures and layering, common in basalt formations as they cool and erode over millennia. The almost perfect circularity is likely due to a combination of geological processes, perhaps a unique upwelling of magma that cooled into a dome-like shape, followed by extensive erosion from glacial movement and ocean currents that sculpted it into its present form. And the runway or drag mark that stretched for 300 meters? This too has a natural explanation. The high-resolution scans revealed that it's not a single continuous mark, but rather a series of glacial striations and deposited sediments. As the massive Scandinavian ice sheets retreated at the end of the last ice age, they scoured the seabed, leaving behind incredibly long parallel grooves and depositing vast amounts of till and moraine. The anomaly itself likely served as an obstacle, diverting the ice flow and concentrating the erosive forces, creating the illusion of a deliberate path. So, if it's just a natural rock, why is it worse than we thought? This is where the long-term implications, the scientific understanding, and the environmental changes in the Baltic Sea come into play. The very existence of such a perfectly preserved, symmetrical, and exposed basalt formation at that depth reveals something profound about the geological history of the Baltic. It shows the immense power of glacial erosion and the dynamic, ever-changing nature of our planet's crust. But there's a deeper, more unsettling layer to this. The fact that such a prominent, unusually shaped geological feature could remain undiscovered and misunderstood for so long, only to be revealed by advanced technology, speaks volumes about how much we don't know about our own oceans. This shows that even in relatively well-charted waters, vast secrets remain hidden, not just geological, but potentially ecological and climatological.
Down there in the cold, dark Nordic waters lay an anomaly, an object no one could identify. It was almost perfectly round.
The anomaly isn't a threat in itself, but its revelation forces us to confront our limited understanding of the deep and the potentially devastating changes slowly unfolding within it. The unsettling truth, a warning from the deep. We've established that the Baltic Sea anomaly is a natural basalt formation, sculpted by ancient geological and glacial forces. The surrounding scientific context reveals about the health and hidden dynamics of the Baltic Sea, one of the most unique and fragile marine environments on Earth. The Baltic Sea is a brackish water body, largely enclosed, with limited exchange with the open ocean. This unique geography makes it particularly vulnerable to environmental changes. For decades, it has been under immense pressure from human activity, agricultural runoff, industrial pollution, and increased shipping traffic. The anomaly isn't the problem. It's a silent witness, and its discovery highlights a much larger, more concerning picture. One of the gravest threats to the Baltic is eutrophication, caused by excessive nutrient input, primarily nitrogen and phosphorus from fertilizers and wastewater. This leads to massive algal blooms, which then die and sink to the bottom. Their decomposition consumes oxygen, creating vast dead zones where marine life cannot survive. The discovery of a prominent geological feature in this context forces us to consider how much of the seabed, teeming with life for millennia, is now silently succumbing to these environmental pressures. The very conditions that made the Baltic Sea anomaly so difficult to identify for so long, the poor visibility, the challenging deep sea environment, are also exacerbated by climate change. Rising water temperatures affect oxygen levels and current patterns, further stressing an already fragile ecosystem. The anomaly's location in a deeper, colder part of the basin shielded it from some of the more immediate impacts. But the increasing extent of lack of oxygen in the deeper Baltic is a clear and present danger to everything that lives there. Furthermore, the detailed bathymetric surveys conducted to finally understand the anomaly have also inadvertently revealed other, less publicized changes to the seabed. Increased sedimentation, shifts in seabed communities, and even the unsettling accumulation of microplastics all tell a story of an ocean under siege. The anomaly's story, therefore, isn't just about a rock. It's a stark metaphor for how much of our oceans remain unexplored, vulnerable, and rapidly changing beneath our feet. The silent, relentless degradation of a vital ecosystem, a process largely unseen and unacknowledged by most. The mystery of the Baltic Sea anomaly pushed us to look closer, and what we found, while a geological marvel, also pulled back the curtain on the alarming reality of our impact on the deep. a reality far more concerning than any fictional threat. The anomaly is just a rock, but it serves as a monument to our environmental challenges, a silent warning from the depths of a sea in crisis. Echoes of the past, warnings for the future. The journey to understand the Baltic Sea anomaly has been a fascinating blend of scientific endeavor, technological innovation, and public fascination. While the alien theories and secret weapons have been debunked, the true significance of this discovery extends far beyond the object itself. This is a reminder of how much of our planet, especially its deep oceans, remains a mystery, full of hidden geological wonders and environmental challenges. Think about how many other anomalies might lie undiscovered in the vastness of our oceans. The fact that such a prominent feature could evade detection for so long and then be so widely misinterpreted speaks to the immense scale of the unexplored. Our maps of the seafloor are still less detailed than our maps of the Moon or Mars. Every new expedition, every new technological leap brings us closer to understanding our own planet, but also reveals the staggering extent of what we don't yet know. The story of the Baltic Sea anomaly is also a testament to the scientific process. It began with a tantalizing blip on a sonar screen, fueled by sensationalism, but ultimately, it was meticulous research, advanced technology, and critical thinking that delivered the definitive answer. It shows us the importance of not jumping to conclusions, of demanding verifiable evidence, and of the tireless pursuit of truth, even when it's less dramatic than the wildest theories. But the worse-than-we-thought aspect isn't just about the current environmental state of the Baltic. It's a foreshadowing. The same kind of environmental stressors impacting the Baltic: eutrophication, pollution, warming waters, dead zones are slowly but surely affecting other enclosed or semi-enclosed marine environments worldwide. The Black Sea, the Gulf of Mexico, various fjords and coastal areas all face similar threats. The Baltic is, in many ways, a microcosm, a bellwether for what could happen on a larger scale if we don't address these global issues. The anomaly's story, therefore, becomes a powerful call to action. It urges us to invest more in oceanography, to develop even more advanced deep-sea mapping and monitoring technologies, and crucially, to redouble our efforts to protect these vital ecosystems. What other secrets, what other warnings lie hidden in the deep, waiting for us to develop the tools and the will to find them? The Baltic Sea anomaly may not be a spaceship, but its true identity is a far more impactful discovery. It's a natural wonder, shaped by unimaginable forces over eons, and a silent, stark reminder of the fragile balance of our planet. Its mystery is solved, but the deeper, more unsettling truth it reveals about our oceans and our responsibility to them is only just beginning to unfold. And that, truly, is worse than we thought. What are your thoughts on the Baltic Sea anomaly? Were you hoping for aliens? Or do you find the scientific explanation more interesting? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more deep dives like this, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.